Yo, thank you for tuning in today to Channel 99. I've got with us Roses Are Dead. These guys are super awesome. They put together a couple acoustic songs, so make sure that you listen in to the entire episode. We also talk about the influence in the style of their music, which is everything from pop and punk to classic and jazz, and you can definitely hear that translate in some of their songs, which is super cool. These guys are extremely knowledgeable about what they do. They love what they do, and it was just an awesome experience having them sit down and discuss the origin of their band, how they got together, everything. So make sure that you subscribe to Channel 99. Make sure that you subscribe to all these guys' or like all these guys' social media pages. Give us 5 stars on the episode, and make sure that you pass it along out of respect for these guys who put a lot of time and effort into putting these projects together for us here in the Valley to enjoy and be entertained with. So we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Shut up and sit down.
That was like the OG, like getting your feet wet recording program. So like him and I, we like write songs a long time ago using Audacity.
Yeah.
Right.
In here, I was like, hell yeah, Audacity.
Yeah, Audacity is still pretty good.
And it's free.
Yeah, no, that's the best part.
Audacity is really handy. Like if you got like 2 things that you want to do, like I'll use FL Studio to record a bunch of stuff. But then if I got something where I got like multiple tracks I need to have Audacity open, put that over there, and then just mute solo, and just like. I don't believe in just like only one DAW.
Oh, there you go. That's better. Yeah, he's a multiple DAW user. When you want to talk, dude, like try and like angle your head towards the microphone.
Yeah, you can move the mic and everything. By the way, I hit record, and we are for everybody listening, we're sitting here with Roses Are Dead, a local band here in the Treasure Valley. Where are you guys located? Caldwell, Nampa, Boise, Meridian?
All of the above.
Everywhere. You guys, so you guys you guys all have to travel to meet up at a certain spot. You pick a place. You have a certain spot you practice at.
Yeah, we practice in Nampa most of the time. Sometimes we'll practice in Boise, but Steven lives in Meridian. Dakota and Alex live in Boise. Weston lives in Nampa. I live in Nampa. So I don't know. It's just kind of a mess. But we usually try and meet up in Nampa to practice. So it's kind of
where do you record at? Do you record at somebody's house, or do you go to a studio, or what?
We generally record demos just kind of separate. We'll do that
on
your
separate.
own. So Steve-O and Xander. We're going to call him Xander because we got 2 Alexes to work with.
Yeah, that's kind of I introduced myself as that.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Hold that real quick so everybody knows who's talking. So introduce just your name and what you play.
Okay, I'm Xander and I play guitar. And yeah, your turn.
Okay.
I'm Dakota and I play bass.
I'm Weston, play the drums.
I'm Alex, I play my throat.
Steven, I also play guitar.
Nice. Okay, so who's the singer?
Play my throat.
Oh, gotcha. I was thinking maybe you were a screamer or something like that, and I was waiting for something.
Yeah, he does both.
Swiss Army man.
It's Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
That's what's up. You guys played the other night for the We Were Giant show. You guys opened, right?
Yes, that's correct.
How was that?
Insane.
Was it?
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was fun, man.
There was a ton of people. Energy was high. Hype was out the roof. Like it was a good show.
Yeah.
It was our first knit show too. So like that was
second.
Well, I don't count the first one. The first one was like it was like a battle of the bands, but this one was like it was the whole 9 yards for us. So.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah,
you guys. It was really an honor.
You guys killed it.
Thank you.
I totally digressed on that too because I told you guys to hold it while you introduced yourselves. We were talking about the recording. So you guys record separately, and then who puts it all together? Do you guys outsource production? Does one of you guys put it all together and produce it?
So at the moment, we're kind of like, this is kind of a weird question because we're trying to figure that out ourselves right now. The first single that we ever put out was produced by a guy named Scott in Boise at the Mix House. It's a studio over on Emerald. And we used him for like tracking and mixing and mastering like everything. Mm-hmm. but right now we're just trying to kind of figure out our footing for that kind of stuff. We're right now in the process of recording an album. We're tracking everything ourselves. Mixing and mastering, we're probably going to go through Scott, the same guy who did all of our stuff, but just to kind of achieve like different results this time, we're tracking everything ourselves and then sending it out. So that's kind of our, I guess, rough plan of like what we do for our recording and our production.
Yeah,
Right.
The current process is basically at one of the practices that we'll have in Nampa, we'll go ahead, hash something out, and then individually they'll work on the parts, record them, and then usually I have to line up drums anyways. So in order for there to be no confusion when it comes to the mastering of it, we already have what the drums that I want them to be in my own recordings. So that's generally what will happen. I'll just have them right there, and then I have my own practice kit at home, and so I can just hash out what I want to have, and then that all gets kind of wrapped up, and then through that whole period we're working on kind of lyrics, what we want things to be like, and so at the moment that's kind of what our writing process is like.
That's cool. So you have how many songs written right now? Because you said you're
Jeez.
a lot.
Yeah, I think in total right now we have about, I want to say 13, but
And you have to. Are you going to cull that down to like 8 or 9?
yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, we've got 9 tracks, 9 tracks on the album, and then we've got some other singles that we've got kind of like in the hole
like
already.
bonus content,
Well,
kind of.
it's kind of like
Hype.
once the album's out, you don't want to lose momentum. So we want to be like ahead of the game when we release the album. We'll have singles ready to go, and we can hammer out the finer details and kind of refine everything a lot more, and then drop it just to stay ahead. So
That's what's up. So who writes all the music? Do you all write your own pieces? Does somebody come up with the idea?
it's a collective
Mostly
effort.
Zan.
Yeah.
He comes up with all the stuff, but then he thankfully gives us some leeway on what we can do.
Man, make me sound like a good guy.
A lot more recently, we've been writing together.
Yeah.
So, like, the first bit was, I guess, more Xander, but now that we're all put together, we're definitely writing collectively a lot more.
Yeah, that's definitely the direction we want to.
Definitely, where we want to go.
Yeah, being able to like play off each other's strengths and create content together, not just one dude coming up with like everything,
Yeah.
like I have done in the past. So.
Mm-hmm.
Too much stress for one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've written all 13 of those songs, then? Pretty much.
Probably like, I don't know, like 7 of them.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Do you write your own lyrics?
Him and I tag team it
Yeah.
here and there. Like, depends on the song. For some of them, I've written like the full thing, but for a lot of it, usually he'll come at me saying, "Oh, I've got lyrics for this," and then he lets me kind of take it from there, and then we collab later and figure the rest out. But collectively, him and I'll sit down and hash it out usually.
And what song are you guys going to be playing tonight?
We're going to be playing a song called "I'm Not All Right." It will probably be the first single on the album, or maybe the second. I'm not sure, but it's a song about, I guess, like substance abuse and depression and suicide awareness.
Yeah, last week actually, suicide.
Yeah, it was suicide
month.
awareness.
So,
So
this song
And
we got, it's even
That's
though we're kind of
cool.
late to it, we're gonna.
Yeah.
it's never too late to talk about that kind of stuff. It's a heavy
Yeah.
subject, but
When did you start writing it? Is it something new? Did you just start writing it, or is it something that's been in the works and you guys have just been whittling it down over time?
interestingly enough, all the songs have been written for a while. I think we've been a band in the public eye for about like a little over a year now, and we had all these songs written. I think back then we made some like minor tweaks, like changing a couple notes here and there, but it's been written for a while. So it's just a matter of getting organized and putting it out there. So
Mm-hmm.
That's dope. So what do you guys got going on next for shows? Since we were talking about shows right before I digressed.
20th, 27th. Is that correct?
yeah, October is the last of our shows probably for the year. I would guess anyway.
Or close to it, yeah.
Close to it, yeah. Do we have anything else after that?
Yeah, I know we have a show the 20th with Sorry No Sympathy, and Life Upon Liars.
And a couple other bands.
Is that at the Olympic?
That's at the Shredder.
The Shredder.
Yeah, it's at the
Oh,
Shredder.
okay,
So
okay.
it's the 20th, and then
We have
I can't remember the rest of the bands. They're all. I think
Candelier is going to be on that one.
Oh, yeah,
I
Candelier.
think it's one of their first shows.
in a while at least.
Yeah. Oh, and Forsythia.
Oh,
They're playing
that's
their
the
first
one
show
I was
back
trying
in
to
a hot
think of that,
minute.
yeah.
They've been around for quite a while.
The
so
other
that'll be
band
cool.
is new though. The one that he just said.
Yeah.
I think they're brand new.
Who is?
Candelier.
Candelier, yeah.
Yeah, from what I've heard.
What
Yeah.
what kind of music are they? Same style, like same genre.
I don't know. I've heard their
Could you
single.
all-
It's kind of more towards like the alternative rock. Like it's still like got some bite to it, but it's not like heavy like some of the other bands on the ticket.
More like a Breaking Benjamin style.
It has a little more like pop punky kind of vibe
Yeah.
to
Oh,
it.
does it?
Yeah.
That's
I
cool.
mean, I
It's good, though.
scoped into it. Like it was actually. I was. They're local, right?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, they're local. So I was pretty impressed. I was like, damn, these guys are pretty good. Like, wow.
Yeah.
And they had like really good production on their video and like everything. So we're pretty stoked for the show. That one's, like I said, the 20th, and then the following weekend we're playing over in Rupert with Artificial Aliens. Yeah, it's
And
the
a bunch
27th.
others.
Yeah, a bunch of other dudes, Impurities. So I can't remember the rest of the bands. that
I'm
were
I'm looking forward to going back to that place. The last
Yeah.
time we were at that Rupert show was a little. It was about a month, over a year ago, and we played for Get Scared.
Get Scared, Famous Last Words, World War Me, Artificial Aliens. Yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna go
I
back.
haven't heard of any of those bands.
Yeah.
Are they regional, like smaller acts that are like
No.
up and coming, or
No,
what, more mature acts? Like I've just never heard those bands. But I'm really not deep in the scene. That's why I have a lot of the local bands come on, so I can kind of explore it and like figure it out.
Yeah, Get Scared and Famous Last Words. They've toured internationally. Get Scared is on Fearless Records. They're a pretty big record label. They've been around for a long time. I was listening to them when I was 16. Like I grew up on them essentially. I mean, at least I know Steven and I did.
Yeah, for sure.
But and then Famous Last Words as well. They're bigger acts. So for us to get like a show like that when we were only like 3 months old, we're like, oh crap! Like this is insane.
Yeah, that was a big eye opener.
Never meet your idols though.
So how long have you guys been a band total?
Since
That's
May.
That's a really hard question to answer.
We were because I mean, if you really want to go way back in history, I mean, this guy he.
Pull your cord so she doesn't like walk through it.
Yeah.
I just don't want her to get choked and
call.
pull you down.
We got a doggy under the table here.
Yeah, she's running laps between everybody to make sure
That's cool.
Yeah.
she gets touched.
So yeah, 2010 I think would be when
Oof.
we first like met. Like I was playing a pet band show with my high school, and this guy right here, Xander, was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go talk with him," but I don't even remember it because I was just kind of so slammed with like a lot of work. Colleges were like, "Hey, can you do this?" And I think I was. Oh man, I was such a slut. I think I had like 5 bands I was working with. It was bad, and so I kind of like. I guess I brushed him off, and we didn't come back together till, holy cow, it was like
It's 20,
2015. 2015, that's what it was. We were
2015-ish.
helping your bud out with some video and song stuff. And then we just started talking, and it was like, holy cow, you got some stuff going on. And yeah, it just kind of clicked after that. It was only that was about September when we recorded and did that work. Over in where was that in Oregon?
It was like August, and it was in gosh, I can't even remember, some podunky town in Oregon. I don't know. It was like right outside of Idaho, so like no one cares.
And so, and I kind of,
I don't even remember.
yeah, I remember though when we came in, and he was with his band As Fire Falls at the time, and he was on some off time, and so he was like, we kind of looked at each other, and I'm like, I kind of think I remember that dude. And he looks at me, and it's
I remember you right off the bat. I was like, hey, that's that one dude that blew me off all those years ago, but it wouldn't have worked out back then.
You were
anyway.
playing with As Fire Falls at the time?
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
time when I met Weston again. Yeah, that's a crazy story. He actually moved down like a few months later. He's like, all right, I'm in. Like, let's work on some projects because I have some demos and
yeah.
And-
Sadly, everything in my hometown, it just kind of dried up. Unfortunately, I would have liked to stay there, but this guy had some really gold stuff that I liked, and he showed me the first demo of Happy Endings, and less than a year later we put it out.
Yeah.
It was just between us.
Just to note, he was from Blackfoot before, so like.
Oh wow,
yeah,
that's way over there.
It's way over there. So, but I would say like the band actually like, as a band, as a collective unit, it took a while to like create like get everyone. Dakota's the newest addition, so like, I would say that probably when the band like officially started was when we played our first show, which was like last year, Punk in the Park, right?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
2017. So like that's like
It was around.
yeah,
It was pretty cold actually. I was thinking May, but
you know Idaho weather. Like it like remember it was like snowing that morning, and then
Yeah.
it just like it like got really warm, and I was like I went from like 3 coats to like a t-shirt in like the course of like 3 hours. So, but yeah, it was I think that's probably when I count like the band is like okay, we're out there, like we've got music, like our single dropped that first day, so I'd say like spring of 2017.
Selling our one shirt
Our
style.
Hey, we had shirts. That's huge.
yeah.
Those shirts bought us a lot of stuff.
Helped us out a lot.
Yeah, so 2017 is about.
That's cool,
is about
man.
then.
How long have you guys been playing? How long have you been playing guitar? And do you play other instruments?
I play guitar. I like to say I play drums, but I don't. I program drums.
Remember when I said thankful he gets us some leeway on recording?
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Buddy,
picky
I don't
about
have
this stuff.
3 arms and 4 legs to do this
Yeah.
part.
So do you track live and then you learn the songs later? I mean, sorry, do you track electronically and learn later, or do you track it live?
I usually track things electronically first.
You do?
But going back to your question, I've been playing guitar since I was about 13. So like, it's been a little while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how old are you?
25.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
12 years, half your life, pretty much.
Yeah.
And me and him like grew up together. And we started basically. He actually got me into guitar.
Yeah, I did.
So
And
about
you,
the same time.
you play bass?
No,
No, I
guitar.
mean guitar,
Yeah.
bass. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's
Barely.
what's up.
Barely.
Throat. Yeah. That's what's up. What do you play, Dakota?
I play bass barely.
Just bass, though? Is that the only instrument you play?
He plays guitar pretty good.
Yeah, I played guitar for like 7 years, and before that, I was a classical cellist for like 5-6 years. So
Oh,
yeah, a couple different
I didn't
things.
know
So
that.
We need to bring
That's
that
cool,
back.
man.
for real.
it's expensive and hard to carry.
How did you
Yeah.
translate that, like, that learning or that style of playing? How does that translate to, like, playing a guitar or playing the style of music?
Poorly. You
It
kind of have
does.
to start over. There isn't really a whole lot in common. Like heavier music has got like some like nodes to like classical stuff, but it's its
Sure.
own beast for sure.
Yeah, it would be cool if you could, like, integrate it a little bit into the music. It'd be, I don't know.
There's a handful of bands that do that, I think.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
Royal Bliss does that. I think they have a stand-up like bass, like and cello thing going on.
Probably.
I could be wrong though. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
We could do that for some acoustic sets where we can't play it live, and you'll play an upright, and then I'll play on a cajon wooden slave box.
That'd be pretty
That would
dope.
be way dope.
That'd be
You,
so
That'd be
dope.
super cool.
do you still play?
No, I haven't played cello pretty much since I like found the guitar. It's something I did through high school, and as soon as I found guitar, I'm like, oh, this is where it's at.
That's how it was with me. I played trumpet up through
Nice.
high school.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool, dude.
And if I picked up a trumpet, I mean, I could probably play like a scale or two, but I probably wouldn't be able to read music right off the bat.
We need a collab because I've been itching to get back to playing some jazz.
Well, I play piano too. I have a piano.
Nice.
So I'm always down to collaborate with anybody. I told Blake and Logan I kind of want to do like a hip hop like metal collaboration.
Ooh.
Kind of like a Hollywood Undead, but more like hip hoppy than like rappy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That
that'd be
Hollywood
so
Undead's a
cool.
little more aggressive, but I think we could do a little more mellow hip hop style with like a metal flair to it.
That sounds pretty dope, actually. That'd
Mhm.
be cool.
This
So-
guy's an insane piano player.
Oh yeah, he
Oh
is.
no way!
He goes into like
but-
piano comas for months. He
Yeah.
doesn't talk
Ooh.
to anyone.
Tell him about your experience, man. It's like it's impressive. He's got like
Several ballads. And
No,
Yeah.
You
no.
write music?
Yeah,
Do you have sheet music? I'd love to play one.
I don't have any, like, it's all
You
up
just
here.
play it.
But
You
yeah,
just
like I
play.
can read music. I guess I've been playing piano since I was 6. and like I should be way better than I am, but
Don't let him deceive.
He's
so
underselling
humble.
himself
Oh gosh.
so
Oh, I'm sure you shred. Dude.
He's so
I'm sure
good.
you shred.
but so yeah, that's kind of it's my favorite instrument anyway. I hated it when I was little. My mom, if she sees this, she'll be like,
He said it. He said it was his favorite.
yeah, like for years she had to like kick me to play the piano, and I was like, I hate this, I hate music, but it like grew on me, and then I picked up guitar after. Been on guitar for like 5 years or something, and then I picked up a didgeridoo for some reason, and so we want to incorporate that. That's,
You did pick up for legit, like you did.
yeah, I was
You
like,
have a
oh, this is a didgeridoo.
He's got that didgeridoo.
He's got a built-in one too. It's the weirdest thing. He's just like, wow.
It's too much fun.
It is great.
It's the good old.
If I'm having a bad day, I'm like, do your didgeridoo, man.
Yeah, I don't know if it translates on mic, but just like.
Just do
So good.
Too much fun.
Oh
Pretty
gosh.
funny.
But yeah, I'll write something and then like a couple weeks and then just send it to these guys and be like, yeah, so I was bumming around on this and I don't know, like we need to work. I need to finish things. I like to start projects and kind of then start another project, but
Yeah.
Ditto.
that's the way it goes.
It's kind of like a buffet. You just want to just try and finish one. You
Yeah.
can.
Can.
But there's more out there.
That's not you are fighting the rules if you try and finish one thing.
Yeah, basically.
For real.
So, what's your guys' favorite song so far that you've written, that you practiced, that you feel
Oh
good about
gosh.
Fake.
100%. Yeah, yeah.
Fake for sure.
playing? What's that song about?
Fake people.
Yeah, just bad people.
Yeah, just like I don't know. When you get into life so far, you're like, you just get kind of tired of certain behaviors. You know, like people that can't be straightforward with you, or people that like put on a front and then like talk shit about you behind your back. And I think that's like ultimately what the song kind of like revolves around, is just like being sick of people not being able to just be straightforward with you and ruining your reputation. And I think ultimately the song just kind of comes around and talks about how it just never does anyone any good. Not just being straightforward. How it ruins like both your reputations. If you talk crap about somebody, it reflects poorly on you, but it also reflects poorly on them too. So
Totally.
yeah, so I guess like that one's kind of like, that's one of our singles after the album was released. So I guess like after the album's pretty hopeful, I would say, but like pretty much after the album's out, it's pretty much Operation Throwdown from there.
Yeah, for sure. Everything's in it.
Yeah, everything.
Fake's a good crowd jumper. That's another plus.
Yeah, it's really
It's like
poppy.
a catchy one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super catchy.
Do you have it on? I just pulled up. I pulled
there
you guys
we are.
up on the search engine here.
Yeah, so our song Happy Endings is up. That's our lyric video. What's crazy is that one doesn't even sound like the same song anymore because we drop-tuned it more, but that's like the only song we have out right now. You can see right there, May 24th. I think our show is the 24th.
Oh,
So like that dropped like
that
the
is
day.
older
was May.
from last
Yeah.
year.
You know what's crazy too about this is that song, once it was mastered and ready for release, we released it the day I moved over. You remember that?
Like a year later. Or
Yeah,
like-
like to the day, 1 year later.
1 year later after he moved down,
After I
like
moved
it
down.
dropped. It took us a while to get some momentum, but
And it just took it like a few moments, just kind of like, oh, cool, we've got it up. And I'm like, wait a minute. When did I move over? Holy cow, it was the same exact day. And I'm like, show that. I'm like, dude, did you plan this for surprise? And I'm like, what? Are you serious? So
yeah,
I was
it
like,
was a happy coincidence.
just
So
So there is an EP out, you said? Sorry.
it is not out yet. It is
Okay.
currently
Very
being worked
soon.
on. Very soon.
So the EP, and then you're gonna drop the LP
Actually,
Singles.
it might,
Yes, I think it.
it's looking like it's
because you
going
have
to
enough
be an
songs to
LP.
do an
Yeah.
EP
Yeah, it
and
might-
an LP.
it actually, yeah, I
those
think
4 extra songs, if you like any of them.
It might end up just being an LP, just by virtue of the fact that there's like 9 tracks on it. I don't think an EP. How do EPs work?
Yeah,
They're
I don't
like
know
3
what
to
the-
5
I don't
songs, I
understand-
think.
I don't understand
I
that.
don't think an EP can be longer than 5 songs.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's
Yeah, it's a 3
definitely
to 5
it's definitely
songs
an LP then,
EP.
a short LP, but
Yeah.
everything else after that's just going to be like a single. Just focus on one track at a time after the album's out. It's just nice when you have a physical copy at a show to be able to give somebody. We've never been able to do that.
that's
Like,
the most requested thing.
Yeah,
Besides
it
from
is.
shirts, it's like,
no,
do you
it's-
have an album?
Yeah,
Do you have an
it's
album?
More,
It's
it's more
like,
requested.
we go our single. There you go.
Yeah,
like
that's all we can give them is just be like, hey, here's our single. But like, to be able to have a physical copy is a necessity. So we're trying to like really push to get this album out.
Yeah,
people
we
are
got most
really
of it.
people really like to buy CDs still. They're
It's-
really about
it's
that.
really
it's
crazy.
a nostalgia thing, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, like, I think people. I hope people genuinely enjoy our set, and I think that people like to get an idea of like how you sound on like a recording. I know I do, but just being able to have a physical copy to give them and be like, this is what we sound like. I think people want that still, and I definitely can't emphasize like how important that is.
Well, it's tangible.
Yeah, it's
I think
tangible. Yeah,
people
it's
like
it's
to have-
tangible evidence of your music.
It's also really hopeful that I'm like, there's still hope for humanity kind of status, because in this day and age, so many people are just downloading music, and also all the streaming. Like, I know you're into Spotify, all that, but
I like my Spotify.
I am not on the bandwagon for all the Pandora Spotify, because it's just like it doesn't directly support the artists. You get just like a small portion of it, whereas I think people kind of see that and they're like, I want to directly support these people, and they get the album, and that really means a lot to me.
Well,
when
they
I'm
can
seeing
buy
that.
your album on Spotify.
Oh,
No, maybe that's
it's
just a free
like
streaming.
bookmark it, and
That
then
makes
it's
sense.
like
Streaming,
take
yeah.
me to it, and then buy option, and then it'll take you to the.
Yeah, you just get a
wherever.
few cents per.
What's crazy though is like
Per
when
play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you look at your stats though, like I haven't opened up our account in a long time, like, but right after the song dropped, we had like, I think it was like $13 that we made off of it, and like most of it came from Spotify. It's like $7 came from Spotify streams, and we at that point only had like 500 plays, and now I think we're up to 2,000. So I mean, I don't know, there's more to streaming than I thought, especially with the stats. So doesn't
Yeah,
seem
it
like
definitely
it's,
adds up for
yeah,
sure.
it adds up for sure. So
Well, and you can leverage it if you're trying to peacock yourselves for like getting picked up by a label.
yeah, definitely.
You know, like it's a
definitely.
way to kind of be pompadourous, I guess, if you will.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I don't know. There's ways to inflate it, but there's also ways to quality check that.
Yeah.
You know.
Gotcha.
So as long as they're like authentic and you're not they're spending like $200 a month for some Chinese company to have a bot of like 3,000 different emails with YouTube accounts going out looking up your
Yeah.
stuff without giving you likes and comments.
Huh. Yeah. No, I'm not sure how all that stuff works myself, but
That's how it works.
yeah.
That's
Now
exactly
you do.
how.
That's
That's
it.
exactly how it works, and
Yeah.
they do check that. So.
Ours are definitely genuine because like it's only 2,000.
Well, those listens,
Yeah.
those it's a little different when you're looking at like Spotify and Amazon, because those are a little bit different than YouTube, because those are subscription based, where YouTube's all free, so you can create 1,000 phone numbers, and those phone numbers can be associated with 1,000 Google accounts, and you can tell those 1,000 Google accounts by way of a bot to go look at this one web
One
address,
video, and then you get tons of views on it, and
and it automatically sets it, and it's on
Yeah.
a server, so it runs in the background. It's all background processes.
crazy.
So
Yeah.
that's what they do. And I mean, these Chinese companies, or companies out of the U.S. a lot of times they do that crazy. So, but hey, if you want to look good, do it.
I guess
Pay
whatever.
per
Yeah, I
review.
guess,
Still
like,
marketing.
I guess
still
for some
marketing.
people, yeah, whatever it takes.
Most
right?
people don't know that though.
Yeah.
Most people aren't going to look at it like I do and think, that's not authentic. Most people are going to be
Yeah.
like, dude, that's 45,000 plays. Holy crap. But when people see it, it gains traction.
Yeah, I mean, like
it does.
I
They're like,
know-
oh, I'm going to watch that. There's
Yeah.
50,000 plays. I'll watch that. And that just adds to
Yeah.
it, and everything, and it builds momentum.
yeah,
So
that,
it is a marketing
that
play.
adds a lot to me.
Give a like if
my-
you're before the 1 million crew kind of comment.
Yeah.
I
Just a little marketing advice for you guys as you start to
Definitely
make
look into it.
videos and stuff like that. I would hate for you to kind of follow, along the lines of like I don't know, maybe a band that's like, yeah, this is what we do to inflate our numbers, because it happens. I know people who
Right.
podcast and they inflate their numbers, but it's all YouTube inflation.
Right.
I've never heard anybody say, yeah, well, I've inflated my iTunes listening. I don't know how that works. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
'cause
I
it
don't know.
doesn't-
That
they're
doesn't
still going to
really-
listen to my podcast, and they're still going to be
Yeah.
like, how are 2 million people listening to you, man? You suck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I'm good enough to have, a network pick me up right now. I think give me, a while to tune in everything and make, better equipment and reinvest. A few years from now, this is going to be a whole different experience.
Definitely, we definitely feel that.
And that's the same thing with you guys.
Thing,
Totally. You guys already have 13 songs, and you've been together for like a year and a half, right? That was March of last year, May of last year. So that was almost a year and a half ago.
Yeah. No, I mean, we're definitely gaining some momentum now. So like a lot of the same thing, like being appealing to a record label, kind of instead of a network. You want to be able to show that you can create numbers like genuinely, and then also have like a worth behind you. See if you can get like crowds to come out to your shows, like see if you've got touring experience under your belt, have the gear, have the experience to show that you're worth signing on. So I definitely feel that, man.
Totally.
We've been talking a lot about that lately.
You have to be very original.
Oh yeah, for real.
You have to target you have to kind of create your own way, man. That's how it
tough.
works. Money.
That's tough because everyone wants to follow along on what a band
Totally, because you know what
It's-
works, right? But nobody knows. Everybody knows what doesn't work, and everybody knows what works. But if you haven't tried something that hasn't been proven, one way or the other, do it. You got to fill a gap somewhere. There's always a need for a different thing. There's always somebody looking for a different style of music that just kind of fits their mood, and maybe you guys are just what they stumble upon, and boom, then they tell their friends about it. And money comes with what you love to do. Don't chase money, just like chase what you do and just make yourself better, because give you guys like 5-10 years, I mean, you guys could be traveling the world. You never know.
For real.
You really have no idea.
That's one thing it's like that I've noticed. It's just kind of hard for us when we're playing sometimes because we're just so middle field. Like we're in a bunch of either like really heavy bands, and then we sound like super soft, but then we're like some other bands, and it's like we just completely sound left field. So it's like I do feel really happy with how we're kind of our own thing, because then the field's kind of more open, and it's a lot more fun like that.
I think it kind of allows you guys to also push the boundaries. I mean, what have you got to lose, right?
Exactly.
Nothing. It's not like you guys are pulling millions of dollars and you're going to be on CNN if you change your style, or if you guys decide that like maybe what you're doing is like maybe you kind of feel as you're getting older and your style's mature and stuff. You might want to change the way that you do things. I wouldn't let that be an external influence by any means, and that would be like a record deal or something like that that's going to force you in that direction. But like I feel if you guys are good enough, you'll naturally do that. You'll naturally transition, but you'll keep that still like that same core style.
Yeah, right? I mean, that's kind of like, for me, that's, I think everyone else could agree that that's like half the fun about being in this band is like, we all have like a ton of different influences, but like I mean, if you ask a lot of people, like I've had people come up, they're like, oh, you sound a little bit like this, but not too much like this, or like, I don't know, like I'd say we're pretty damn original in a lot of ways. And I think
I almost get kind of bummed out when someone's like this. It's like, oh, dang it, we weren't original enough.
Well, I mean, like it's a few, like no one can ever really put their finger on it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like I've had so many people say so many different things. Like you sound like I've heard like from Blink 182 to like Asking Alexandria to like Bullet for My Valentine to like everything. I'm just like, oh geez. Yeah, I was like, okay. Like,
well, maybe you guys don't think of it that way, but maybe people hear certain notes or certain tunes or tempos or something that remind them of like definitely. A Blink-182 song. It might not be like their sound, but it might be that tempo and be like, oh, that sounds like a Blink-182 tempo. Maybe it's quick, that punky pace.
Yeah, for real. Well, we definitely have that stuff, and and like I said, like everyone's got so many different influences. I think that's why we make it work so good. Like Steven's really big into like progressive metal, like Periphery and Meshuggah and
Palisade.
Palisades.
I love those guys.
I love those guys too. But
I'm going to that show at the Shredder.
Yeah, me too, dude. It's gonna be
I'll
see
it's
you
gonna
guys
be awesome.
there.
Yeah,
keep
for
talking
real.
though.
We'll hang. But
It'll
like,
be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so Steven's been kind of like our prog influences. Alex, you're a little more open about everything though. Like he kind of likes everything, but he kind of is more focused on like you like Motionless and White a lot.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, I like them too.
Yeah, Motionless.
Those guys are good.
Yeah, those guys
Motionless,
are awesome.
heavy.
Motionless, Ice Nine Kills.
Scary Boys.
Scary Boys.
Yeah.
It's like
Scary band.
The scary,
scary.
boy
Oh,
band.
I was like, I've never heard of those guys.
No,
What
just
band
like
is
the
that?
scary.
The anemic with people, like the anemic, skinny, tall dudes with long black hair.
Yeah, it's basically me. So I'm like, oh,
eyeliner. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And then, Weston likes he's actually got like lots of trance and like you're kind of all over the place. You like
It's hard. It's hard
hip-hop,
to pinpoint
trance,
where
like electronica.
hip hop's not my strong suit. I mean, I can appreciate it just because from growing up playing in symphonic band and all that kind of stuff, you start to listen to like, oh, that's cool. But then you definitely find those things that make the hair just stand up on the back of your neck and like, okay, this is definitely something that goes for me. So I mean, from the get-go, I mean, it's been a battle between electronica and the whole DJ side of me, and then drums, because they kind of birthed almost identically. And so it was like, I do say that electronica came first. So I mean, you could list on a lot of electronic artists like Armin van Buuren, Tiesto, Alex Morph, all these old trance guys that I was listening to. But I'm totally lost when it comes to like all the new bands. I'm so bad with it. So
Yeah. He is.
Do you have any music of that genre that you've recorded and
oh no,
like exported as like MP3s or anything?
I started as DJing. That was my thing.
Oh.
I wasn't a producer. That didn't come till way later, until about like 2 years ago, where I actually had to like, people were wanting like, hey, could you make a compilation for me for this this dance that I'm doing or something like that? And I'm like, I've never done this before. I could give it a shot, but keep your tabs open so that if you got someone else that you're wanting to, like, then I'm not, because I'll just like, I tried it. So then it finally was just like, okay, this garage band, like, it works for just recording drums and doing that. But I mean, once I'm just trying to do something else, like, I already knew what its limits were, and that's when I was just like, okay, FL Studio, or it was either FL or it was going to be Ableton, but I just went with FL because I had other friends that
Which is
were
Fruity Loops, right?
Yep.
For everybody listening who doesn't know what that means.
Fruity
Yeah,
Loops.
Fruity Loops too.
So you program or no?
He does.
Little bit
You do?
here and there. I'm really good with just.
We
making
should talk
sure.
afterwards. That'd be
I'm really,
fun.
I'm really huge into building computers and all that stuff. It's just like whenever people are just like Mac, PC, whatever. It's just like they're the same to me because I grew up using both Mac and PC, and so they're just different applications, different compatibilities. One's got a much bigger learning curve than the other. Another one has a bit more restrictions. So, yeah, coming to learning how to record drums and all that stuff, that was hugely important in being able to transfer what I have to people that weren't in my house or listening to me playing drums. Like I needed to send some drum tracks when I wasn't here in the Valley, but I was over in Blackfoot learning. It's like, okay, this is how you multi-track. This is how you do all this stuff. You don't use a mixing board. You use an interface. You blah, 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 all that stuff, and how working your mixing skills better so that they sound a bit more professional. And it helps kind of, okay, cool, we don't have to go spend thousands of dollars to go record at a studio. We can save that for when we're finally happy with what we've got, and then we can spend that thousands of dollars to whatever studio we choose to and make it sound really nice, and we don't have to waste anyone's time. We've already got it dialed in. So, man, my segment took a long time. Take over the cut.
No, you're fine.
What kind of music?
I just had one more question for you though. But
Yeah.
so you do program your drums. Sorry, I'm like pointing at you.
No, it's good.
So you pre-program your drums and then you learn them afterwards. Is that what you do?
We'll jam something out, and I'll hear something, and I'll go out in my practice kit, because living in an apartment, it's kind of tough. So I've got Remo silent stroke heads, which are the same stuff they put on like a Roland V drums, electronic drums, and then these Zildjian.
You just plug in your headphones and play.
Yeah, and it's so quiet. Like,
That's cool.
I've only had one instance when my old roommate, it was like 3 a.m. He was like, "Hey, shut up." I'm like, "Yeah, nope,
Yeah,
no
I
problem."
do the same thing.
And
I should
so
buy
it's
an
like,
electronic drum set. I've always wanted to play drums.
they're fun, and they're really good, because as long as you have in the brain module, you have a MIDI in and MIDI out, you can program, like, I don't know, an MPC or whatever. I recorded my own samples because I was sick of all the other samples that were coming out, so I recorded my own kit, used those as the samples, and then you can practice what song you want. Once you're happy with that, you could take your take, record your take, and then go over to your computer, look at all the MIDI, because it's all going to get lined up in the studio anyways. Things are sadly not like they were in the 70s when it was like you get your cut right. It's just so much move around, do this, and then it's just like, okay, this is what I want, this is how I played it, no confusion. And so that's where I'll play it acoustically, go in digitally and program it, and then go back to the studio, play it to how I had it programmed, and then things will get lined up to exact precision on a grid.
Makes sense. So, super cool.
Hopefully I answered your question.
You did. Yeah, totally.
Who influences you, boy?
I'm all over the place, but lately, especially since I met him, I've been listening to a lot of really like modern, like new metal that's coming out. Not new metal, but like newer, as in more recent. It's kind of confusing.
And, like newer,
do not like
newer categories, like evolving music.
Kind of, just more like recent stuff.
Bands,
Yeah, like kind of just
bands.
current popular, I guess, metal.
Cutting edge bands coming out.
Yeah, Currents is definitely one of those.
Currents is
yeah,
killer.
Currents is killer,
Currents is
but
amazing.
yeah, so like new metal, not NU metal, like
Yes.
not like Korn or where is some other
Cane Hill's a big one.
Cane Hill, yeah, but that's
But they're good.
yeah.
That's so good.
What, you don't jack off to Polyphia every morning?
Definitely not. Hard pass.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's way cool. Where all of you guys played? Like just around here, just locally, or did you guys do a tour or anything? Did you guys go?
I don't think we haven't played out of Idaho. The farthest we went was Rupert, I think.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. It's the farthest
As us as our own group.
Yeah,
I know
as
that
our own
I've
group.
played plenty of bars over in Blackfoot, Idaho Falls, Pocatello, Sun Valley, or no, not Sun Valley, Soda Springs. I get those two mixed up.
Yeah.
For some reason, they're not even in the same area.
As a band,
Not
we're trying
even.
to like break out of, I guess, this like area because we do play a lot. So,
Mm-hmm.
but we're looking to like play maybe like a small little tour outside of here after the album's out. So
Yeah,
Are
just
you-
want to get that
Yeah.
one out.
yeah, that's kind of our focus.
Are you guys picking up some good traction locally? I love your guys' logo and stuff. I think that
thank you.
alone should bring more fans in just to like see what you're all about.
Thank you.
Yeah,
we
it's a cool
greatly
logo.
appreciate that, dude. Thanks. But yeah, no. As of late, like I said, we can't be more grateful for like all the support we've got from all the other artists in the area. We have picked up a lot of traction, just like over the last little while. Like this last show has been a real godsend for us. Like we're really grateful for it, and also being on this show. Obviously, like this is huge for us. This is
Especially a local
yeah.
show.
Oh yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, for real. But fun fact: this is our first like legitimate interview is with you today.
No
so,
way.
Yeah, you're making history right now. Man.
Yeah.
Like for us anyway.
Yeah, that's cool.
So our first legitimate interview. We had one lined up with some guy like a long time ago, but it fell through. Never came through.
Yeah.
This,
No, this is it.
yeah,
It's the
well,
first
this
one.
is like not the most professional setting, but it's not the worst
Oh
setting.
no, dude!
Oh, no.
This is awesome.
It'll sound pretty
Yeah,
good when I
no.
kick it out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
So,
No, we couldn't
Sounds
be more
better.
grateful. Like this is like a big moment for us
well,
too. So
I'm grateful that you guys came because for
course.
me it's a free acoustic session, and I
Yeah.
love to hear music in general.
Yeah, dude, we're
and I like
excited
to
to
watch
play.
people just do what they do, so that's exciting for
You
me.
can never lose with free live music.
Do what they love.
No,
Yeah,
for real.
Well.
exactly.
Well, I have lost before.
You have a lot more experience than I do then.
Where was I going with that? I had a question set up to ask you guys. Mentorship. So you obviously have worked on a lot of local shows, or you've been on quite a few local shows. Are there any of the local bands that you ever go to as far as like if you have a question about a style or music, or if there's like maybe somebody like, because I mean, I don't know, when I'm at work or whatnot, usually I'll ask a colleague of mine, like somebody on like another team, their perspective on something,
Right, like
because
kinda
it's
like
an outside
feedback on-
perspective.
Yeah. Okay.
Like as a musician, not like a personal opinion, but a professional opinion.
Right. So someone that's been like, I guess for example, like, As Fire Falls. I don't know if you know who they are.
Yeah.
No, they were in here.
Yeah, they were in
They
here.
were in here.
Yeah, I had them
apologize.
over here a couple
I forgot
weeks ago.
about
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
no. I've known those guys for a while. I joined them in 2015. I played bass for them for a while. Really cool dudes. We're still tight. I quit a while ago just because of some creative differences, but like we're on really good terms, obviously. But I go to Chris all the time because he self-books tours and shows, and like he handles all their merch and like social media and stuff. And like right when I was getting the band started, I picked his brain a lot on like the ins and outs of business side of bands. So like he's been a really like big help and a mentor on a professional level for me, as well as like when I have new tracks, I'll like show like the guitarist Greg from Asfire. I'll show him some stuff and like bounce ideas off of him, be like, hey man, does this sound like original? Like ask him questions about tracks. So they've been like a huge like leg up for learning stuff. They're always like super supportive. We played a show with them in December last year, and those guys have always been a big go-to, as well as like Scott Charles from We Were Giants. We Were Giants, they've been here for a long time, so like we've asked them a lot of questions. Like I think that Scott got us hooked up with the guys who do our merch. So like I think As Fire Falls and We Were Giants have done a lot for us in the sense of like mentoring us and helping us kind of come up a lot faster. So kind of just picking their brains, like figuring out what they did to get started. So those guys have been really good for us.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
How do you guys book shows? How does that work? I've asked Scott, and he explained it to me, but I don't know if there's like different ways to book shows.
Persistence.
Yeah,
Persistence and
charm.
Is there charm?
Yeah, Steven doesn't know.
I guess exuding confidence is the best way.
Steven's the guy that like he's our show booker. Like it's like I'll find like a show poster. I'll like throw it out and be like, go get it. And he's like,
and do you contact the band themselves, or do you contact the venue?
Usually. It's usually like, I mean, I have tried that route, but it's usually less successful. So I think the most success is just getting in contact with the venue first.
And asking them if there's like upcoming shows that you can play on?
Well, we usually are on like upcoming shows, like as soon as like there's a band poster up, or just following the venues on like social media. It was like, oh, this event just was posted, we should try to get it.
Yeah.
So I usually contact someone in the venue, and they will usually, if you can get a hold of them, point you in the right direction as far as like a booking agent, or it's just them doing the booking themselves. So like, hey, we'd love to support, and then just basically go from there, whatever they need as far as like, hey, we'll sell tickets, we'll bring a huge crowd. Yeah.
That's another thing. You need to make sure you have a good following, because you got to think of it from a business standpoint. Like, okay, I need to fill up this place. Who's going to be the best? Who's got the biggest numbers? So you also need to have good confidence, and making sure that you got good networking, and that people are going to actually come see you.
Being a salesman, basically.
Yeah.
As yourself.
As of late, though, like we haven't really had to go out of our way for a lot of the shows that we've been playing.
Yeah.
We've been hit up like the last like six shows that we played. So lots of people are just kind of reaching out to us locally. So that's kind of like how we've been getting shows. Steven's usually the one to spearhead that, though, like booking the show. He's really good about like calling venues and seeing like if there's a show that catches our eye that like we're kind of in the same genre, like just building bridges with like artists that are kind of
it's
like
almost
us, so.
It's almost like it's a 2-part interview, almost like your first part's like getting your foot in the door, and then you actually have to perform your job right. And then if those people are going to like you, you might find some other guys that are going to keep it going, and then the ball just kind of keeps rolling from there. And you got to make sure that you're
kind of the product that sells itself after we've showed what we're made of, kind of.
Bringing the people out to the show, like promoting the show, making sure that like they get the local support, because like lots of these bands that come through, especially because we play at the Shredder a lot, lots of the bands that come through, not a ton of people know about them in this area. So like as locals, we can support and be like, hey, there's these guys that are coming out, make people aware, bring them to the show. It helps them out, it helps us out, because we build a rapport with touring bands. So I mean, like, I guess that's the whole goal. We're not perfect at it, but we're still working on it.
Even.
So
just got to put in a lot of work.
Yeah, so that's as of now, that's how we're doing things, but I'm sure it'll evolve, like, booking shows and stuff later on.
Comes with experience.
Definitely.
Yeah. So you guys will get there. And then as soon as you start filling places like the Shredder, because those are typically like places where you kind of would start out like your musical career, I guess, like opening because it's a smaller venue. Or what's the other one that I've been to?
The Olympic?
The Olympics.
The Olympics kind of like the next, like it would be like the Shredder and the Olympic would probably be like on that same level, right? Maybe.
Olympics great when
I love the
when
Olympic.
the elevator
It's
works.
a really it's a super cool venue though. Like I dig the vibes. It's
I feel like the Olympics a little smaller, but it's definitely I don't know.
Then Shredder.
yeah the
It's just a different layout, I think.
it's yeah, it's
it really
just,
is. Yeah. I think like if you're
I like the
gonna-
Shredder layout more for like
It's definitely a
metal
fun
music,
place.
definitely
like
yeah.
heavier music. I think that the Olympic would be more for an intimate, like lighter music, acoustic music, jazz
Definitely.
music.
Yeah.
Just more something where you could sit down and have a drink with a date because it's all those
Right.
bar tables.
Yeah.
The whole back's filled up, so there's only enough floor space for what, maybe 100 people, and that's a
Yeah.
lot of fucking people.
and
up
and the
there.
Shredder has like floor space for days. So and the stage is like up off the ground, like you said, like the Olympics a lot more intimate. And like we played at the Olympic, like I have nothing but good things to say about it.
Yeah, for sure.
And so like it's a cool venue, but like I think you're right. Yeah, it's
just in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
but I'm
no, for
also
real.
going on 33 years old, and when I go to a place like that and I'm listening to music, I don't know, I feel like that kind of that environment to me is more welcoming for a date
For real.
type of music, live scene
Yeah.
or stand-up comedy, something like that.
Yeah.
Where the Shredder is most definitely an aggressive environment, more like
The
you've
name
got
implies.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
No, the Shredder is a great
I
place.
love the Shredder.
Oh yeah, it's an awesome place to throw down with as like a metal show. Like it's a good time. But like when we first played the Olympic, I saw the stage. I was like, oh no, like it's
Close
like
and-
yeah, it's really close. So like maybe next time we play there, we could do this like an acoustic set.
Oh,
That would
That'd be
Or
fun.
get more
yeah, we
involved
could try to
in
make
the
more of
crowd.
our songs acoustic.
that
That's
would
pretty
be
unexpected.
yeah. Like so just letting you know, with like this song we put together, like we play it like heavy all the time. So like this is the first time we're gonna play it like acoustic, and it sounds good. But we just made it up like that way. So hopefully everybody likes it. But
I'm sure
we're
everybody's
pretty
gonna love
we're
it.
pretty stoked on it. But maybe that'll be a new direction, guys.
Yeah, it'd
We'll
be fun.
we'll
If
be an
you-
acoustic band.
If you guys ever want to put together like 3 songs, maybe 4, whatever, if you guys want to like tune them up and whatnot, you're more than welcome to come in and I'll like produce them for you. You can just do live sets.
That'd be way cool.
That'd be cool.
I've been thinking about
Roses Are Dead Unplugged.
getting lapels,
Yeah.
but you can plug them into here. So
Okay.
you can plug all your guitars in if you want to just do an electric acoustic. Is that how that works, right? Does it still sound like an acoustic guitar when you plug
Yeah,
it in?
it does.
pretty
I mean,
much,
it's
yeah.
probably not as good as like a
Like a mic, rim
a
mic,
condenser
or something.
mic or something.
Yeah, that's what these are. These are condensers.
So, I mean, these would probably sound really good if you
For
got
acoustic,
really personal with them. But
for acoustic, you'd probably just want to
to the mic.
keep using the mics.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it
that's what I
sounds
kinda
pretty good
Yeah.
plugged in.
We
It
need to
doesn't
use
sound too bad.
Kemper and Axe Effects for our acoustic set.
But I'd be more than happy to give you guys that studio time.
Dude,
in
yeah,
that
that
space.
would
That'd
be way
fun.
cool. Yeah, we
Great.
could do like maybe like 3 tracks from like the album Unplugged, and that would be we would
Yeah,
love that.
you could
yeah.
do an unplugged EP, just
be
like your 3 or 4 favorite songs, and then I'll just put it together, and then you guys can like send it off and have it like revamped if you want to, or however you want. But I'll get you guys like the raw recording time. It'll still sound really good in here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys would need to tweak it. We'll find out.
Yeah, I guess we'll see, right?
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
find
see.
out. So
Got a
is-
lot of treatment in here. So
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, it's a pretty dead space in here. I need to fill it up like the rest of the way, but it's about 90% done. So
Yeah.
not too bad. But all right, sweet. Well, what else you guys got? Do you want these guys to listen to that song that I pulled up online, or should I just tell them to go to your guys'?
If you want, I mean, have you listened to it before?
I've listened to whatever you guys. Didn't you guys just release? Nope, you guys did not just release a new song.
Oh boy.
Whoa.
Heard that before.
Celebrate today, till I'm back in what I'm bending. My heart's gone so sad.
This is dope.
It is going to be pretty interesting when we change it. When we release the changed version, it's got lower tuning. Same thing, just different flavor.
Gotcha.
The guy behind the mic isn't the same dude, though. No, he's the same dude, but just,
change things up.
Very different.
He grew this thing.
A face.
I like how my
face
my hand just reaches and just goes to the other side.
It's like there's a portal like right here.
Yeah, no, that song's way dope. And you said it's different now, yeah?
Yeah, we did some changes. Like we dropped the tuning. Guitars are a little more tight.
A sharp.
We made it easier on our boy over here. That way he doesn't have to go quite so high. So
Save your voice a little bit.
it does. It definitely helps him a lot. Like I remember at one time I was like, man, maybe we should drop the song from the set. But like everyone that knows us knows that we're gonna play this song because it's the only song we have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so we're like, well, why don't we try playing it like lower? Because all the other songs, I think there was only one other song.
It was originally even faster. We dropped it down.
Well, I mean, the tuning is the same. Like
Almost
when we
kind of has
first
a
made it.
Rise Against flair to it too.
Oh, geez, I've never heard that one before too.
That one's
a new
in the
one.
docket.
Yeah,
just
that's
It
a new
totally sounds a little Rise Against-y.
Oh, cool.
I like
Nice.
it.
Sweet. So, yeah.
Well, shoot. Let's go ahead and get you guys ready for this acoustic set.
Okay.
And we'll save more questions for the next time you come over, only because it's hot as balls in here.
Yeah, it's a little toasty.
Yeah,
You
I have
get
the
like-
AC on too.
You get like
but
7 guys in a room.
It's
Holy
very
cow.
intimate.
very, very intimate. But where can everybody find you? You have the standard pages. Is it Instagram,
yeah.
Twitter, Facebook?
Yep.
How
all
can
of
they
the
find you?
above. So just Roses Are Dead on Facebook and at Roses Are Dead official on Instagram. I think all of our personal accounts are linked to the Instagram. I'm looking over at Zach over there. He's our
The manager.
he's our manager. He handles all of our social media. He's been hanging out in the background. That's what he normally does too. He's kind of behind the scenes, but he's probably the most important out of all of us. So
Yeah. So he's who to expect if you were to message you guys online.
yeah,
Right.
Okay.
he's the main guy to respond. So, but yeah, do we have a Twitter? Is the Twitter up?
It exists.
It is, but
It is
doesn't.
there.
It's there, but doesn't get used.
It's
so.
kind of Roses are dead. The Twitter's dead. I don't know.
Aptly named. So yeah, Instagram, Facebook. We're the first result that pops up on both of those. If you type in Roses Are Dead on Facebook, that's us.
Sweet.
So
Do you guys have any shout outs? You guys already gave some shout outs to your mentors, but
yeah, We Were Giants, As Fire Falls, some of the other bands in the scene like Chapter Black, Life Upon Liars.
love all those guys.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
guys are
shout out to my mom for putting up with my drums. Like,
Shout out to
growing
Ma.
up.
There you go, dude. I was
Yeah.
gonna. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and I guess I'd have to say, like, coming from a vocalist perspective, I've had a lot of help in the local scene because, yeah, I'm still learning a lot of things. Like, I'm nowhere near, I guess, what I would call professional or good at what I'm trying to do here. So, like, Cody and Life Upon Liars, he's helped me out a lot. Tyler and Abacy, and then I've talked to Blake
Tyler.
from We Were Giants quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and Andy in Chapter Black also, like, just basically anyone in a local band here that we played with, like hey, you're a vocalist, help me out. Like,
Well, it's cool you guys have such a tight knit community here,
We do. It's
and
one
that
of the
all you
perks,
guys
yeah,
can
it's-
kind of like, I don't know, exchange a little bit of creativity and get a little bit of some information and go right ahead. Sorry.
oh no, that's basically that kind of sums it up.
Yeah.
Just all these local bands, we're trying to make it more of a, I don't know, a brotherhood instead of at each other's throats, I think.
Yeah,
all
growing.
supporting.
Well, you
From
should.
what we've
Growing
heard on
community.
the past, like from what before it died out, because the Bump Magazine, shout out to those guys who had us
Yeah.
in our very first mention, and I don't remember what issue it was, but it went more into history on like what the metal scene was, and then it died and it had a big period, like what was it, 3 or 5 years, where it was just down, and it was
it was dead.
Yeah, it's really come back around with a vengeance in a much better way.
The scene,
yeah.
like the local scene?
The local
Yeah.
scene.
Oh,
That's
okay,
right.
okay. I wasn't
No,
really
not-
sure what you were
Not
talking about.
worldwide now.
Like
Yeah.
changes of venues and all that stuff, and how
Yeah.
much it highlighted how good it was that we had a venue like the Shredder, where it was just like you could bring all ages. It wasn't just strictly like 21 and up. You
Totally.
could, you know, of course there's a bar you got with ID, but I mean it's just like it's not just limited to just older people who have been just completely zapped of life. You still have the ability for the younger generation to come in and listen to us, and just everyone else in the scene, which is really great. So
Yeah.
it's a big shout out for Shredder for having that.
Yeah, Justin at the Shredder too. He works really hard to make sure that the Shredder stays going. So another big shout out to him too.
Super cool. And one last question, because I just thought about it. Where'd you guys' name come from?
Oh geez.
Well, it was just Roses.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Roses
well-
for like. It was just like I was like, it was kind of some stupid like ego trip. Of, like, would you just be called Roses, like single word, like, oh yeah, that'll be so cool. And then like, my buddy Jeff, he messaged me. He's like, hey man, so you might want to change your name because I can't find your name on a search engine. I type in Roses, there's literally like 2 billion results. And I'm like, he's like, why don't you guys call yourselves like Roses Are Dead? And then he's like, he had this whole idea for like a black rose, and unfortunately our roses design was already made, so I'm like, well, we'll just add the rest of it like after the fact. So it was mainly just to stand out, but like it turned out to be like, I don't think it really has any meaning, but it turned out kind of fun. Like our initials are RAD, rad. So like
Yeah, it turned out
it's
pretty
kind of
rad.
like an ongoing joke. They're like, "Hey, that's rad, man." So like, I think
Don't hurt me.
like
You should put that on a shirt. You should make
no,
something
oh,
dope
for
off
real,
that.
no, yeah, like
It's definitely
yeah,
on
it's
the shirt.
definitely like
It's gonna be big.
like Steven's background. Like I don't know if you can see it on his phone, but
Oh, it's over there.
oh, it's over there. Okay, but like it says rad, and it's got our rose symbol on it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be doing more about that. But like Randy from the X is always like, we're gonna be playing some rad tunes tonight, and they like tag us, and I'm like, oh, dude.
Yeah, he made a pun.
Yeah,
It's
like
just unreal.
the puns are so like it turned out to be such a positive thing,
That's good.
and like it helped us just to stand out. So like it's just kind of a stupid name, but we just like we've kind of embraced it, and like and it just helps us stand out more. Like you type it on YouTube, we're the first result on Facebook.
I think iTunes actually said congratulations.
Yeah,
You're
it's-
the first
Yeah, it's an original
person on here with that name. So
Yeah, same as Spotify. So I mean, just to stand out is more of a marketing type thing,
Yeah.
and just some good advice from a seasoned musician.
Are you guys on Amazon Prime Music?
I think we're on everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Even
Because when
Napster
everybody
or
says
whatever.
they're on everything, and I look them up on Amazon, because I don't have Spotify, I have the Amazon Plus.
Yeah, I
Music
think
Plus or
I'm
whatever.
pretty sure we're on
Should be.
Amazon. I mean,
I don't know how that works. But
we use DistroKid as our distributor for.
Yeah.
It might need to be purchased. I don't know if it's.
I'm
streaming.
pretty
Or you
sure.
might have to get, like,
I think I got the email saying that we're on Amazon. So
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm pretty
Sweet.
sure we are.
yeah, if
Good.
not, then just hit me up and I'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll
Sweet.
put it on there.
Yeah, for
awesome. Well, for everybody who's listening, this is Roses Are Dead, and you can check them out on everything, including Amazon Prime. So make sure that you go ahead and like their pages, follow them. They're coming out with some awesome music, and make sure that you subscribe, like, and share the episode if you enjoy these guys' music and you want to support your local scene and or just music in general, have an appreciation for talent. Anyways, you have a wonderful rest of your day, and gentlemen, thanks again for swinging by, and
Thank
stay
you for
tuned
having
for
us.
a little acoustic song for the outro. Peace out.
1, 2, 3, 4. Life's been a series of ships that have all set sail, wondering where I go, where I might fall next and fail. When I found you, I said that I'd be a firm foundation, but a firm foundation ain't much without a good location. They tell you as a child you can be what you want to be, but they'll laugh when you tell them, and it's something they don't want to see.
I've got a plan that'll make them all believe. Take these broken pieces, build a ship and sail out to sea. If I told you that I've got it all figured out, would you take my hand and turn your back and walk away in doubt? 'Cause we can take the ship and sail out on stormy water. Baby, I don't need you by my side if you're just gonna falter. I tell you as a child you can be what you wanna be, but they'll laugh when you tell them and it's something they don't wanna see. Well, I've got a plan that'll make them all believe. Take these broken pieces, build a ship and sail out to sea. If you're gonna tell me that you don't believe, I'm doing this for me, so there's the door just to leave. If you don't have the decency to give this time, maybe you weren't even a friend of mine. I've got a plan that'll make them all believe. Take these broken pieces, build a ship and sail out to sea. Day that feels the same. Another pill to numb the pain. Water it down with whiskey now. I'm on the verge of opting out. This pressure will bring me to my grave. Living in fear, there's no better tomorrow. There's gotta be more than just pain, shame, and sorrow. I wanna believe that there's hope to hang on to. How could I hope after all that I've gone through? How did I end up this way? And I know I'm not alright. I am broken inside. Can you save me tonight? Could you change me tonight? But all the voices in my head will always drown you out instead. Under prescription to keep me sane, all they ever do is bring me pain. I'm not alright. I tried so hard to get away. My demons pull me down to stay. Oh, so take till there's nothing left. Why can't I see I'm losing the best of me? I'm nothing more than a memory of what I used to be. How did I end up this way? And I know I'm not alright. I am broken inside. Can you save me tonight? Could you change me tonight? But all the voices in my head will always drown motivation to keep me sane. All they ever do is bring me pain. I'm not alright. I've been hiding, but I can't hide anymore. I've been down, time to get up off the floor. Finally found my something worth fighting for. Even with these clipped wings, I know I can soar. I've been lost in a world of sorrow. It's time for me to find my better tomorrow. I was living almost 6 feet deep. How did I let this get the best of me? And I'm clinging to what I think I need, so desperate I could not see. I need someone to set me free. I'm on the brink of losing everything, and I'm clinging to what I think I need, so desperate I could not see. I need someone to set me free. I'm on the brink of losing everything. And I close my eyes as I breathe for life. And I can't make up my mind, but if I stay here I'll die. And I won't give up the fight, and I won't say goodbye. And I know I'll be alright. I have finally seen the light. Every time